Alright, folks. Welcome back. It is day 192 with Duolingo Japanese. Once again, MAKU desu. Konnichiwa, minasan yokoso. Right. We gotta hit the ground running today. Let's see if my makeshift categorization helps me out with remembering what was introduced yesterday. So hobbies, right? Oh no, I have 4 things more to do, Tracy. I have 4 things more to do. We have our Duolingo Japanese session for the next 2 hours, and then because we're an hour behind, we also have 2 hours of Duolingo Chinese. 4 things. 4 things. We already accomplished our first 2 things. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if we can hit the ground running, right? So unit 45. Let's see if we can remember all the things that we learned yesterday. We categorized it. So Duolingo linked an object or a group for us. So let's go over the group stuff. Right. Hopefully we recall everything. We can start with things that I remember. Let's see. So we have ashiru. Ashiru. I'm gonna have to take a gamble on take a gamble on this character. It's probably this. No, yeah. And then Sampo. You're on section 2? Nice, nice. So, Sampo. Hashiru Sampo. This character is so much smaller. It's okay. Just keep going. Oyogu. So yeah, running, walk, and swimming. Okay. Eiga. Miru. He. E, e, and kaku. E and kaku. Tegami, tegami, and tegami. Kaku. Tegami, kaku. That's awful. Sashin. Sashin. Photo. Tomodachi. Tomodachi. And asobu. Asobu. Angoku. Angoku. Ongoku, not Angoku. Ongoku. Ongoku. And Kiku. Kiku. Not all of them? So you have like take pictures, listen to music, take pictures, listen to music, play with friends, write letters, draw pictures, watch movies, run, swim, walk. Do you have any grammar? Not particularly. Okay. Also have a new counter. I feel like the counter is this. That's probably the counter. That looks good. Yeah, I think that's my. So, ichimai, nimai, sanmai, yongmai, gomai, Jumai. Gakumai. And Nanmai. So really, the ones that we have did not change at all with this counter, which is actually really surprising. Not a lot of them where you have Yon not changing. Go is usually okay. No change in Ichi. And then no change in Ju. So this one's a pretty tame one. It's for flat things. Flat objects. Did I cover the characters though? New characters are Sampo. Oyogu is not even listed. I don't even remember if Oyogu is listed. It might be listed. Oyogu, Mai, Kaku, the other Kaku, Egami, Ega. I don't even know if Hashiru is listed. I don't think Hashiru is listed. Ongaku is. And Iku. What else can you do about hobbies? I feel like I might have missed one or two activities. This is good enough. Okay. We can't dwell on this for too long. Okay, unit 44 is a bit of a tough one. So let's do we have Heijitsu. Ototoi. Sugu. Okay. Oh no. I might try. I'll come back to it. Sentaku. I'm very fastidious when it comes to writing. Indeed. Ooh, what a vocabulary word. I quite like fastidious. It's largely because it's my final output. So I'm quite I do my due diligence to measure my output as I'm going along. It's how I moderate or get a read on how I'm acquiring the vocabulary. Soji. Yeah, Soji. And then denki. Denki. Okay, so grammar stuff. Grammar stuff. Te form. Your knowledge of kanji grows one at a time. Indeed. Indeed, player. Te form. So we're looking at imperative. We have ichidan. So let's start with that ichidan examples. We could add the other ones over here too, actually. Akete. 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 Chimete. Chimete. Habite. Habite. Get it. Get it. Habete. Habete. That's a pretty good one. I wonder if Miru. Probably Mite. Yeah, Mite. Miru is probably an Ichidan. We'll just include it here. We haven't actually seen it. No, let's not include things we haven't seen. Just in case. So Goldan. I was told not to bother with writing since it's such a rare occurrence. That's fair enough. I feel like that sentiment is echoed with many of other people, yes. You were told by whom, may I ask? Where are you getting that inspiration from? That is the general consensus, though. I get told that a lot, too. Or I get people share that opinion a lot with me. Goldan. So, Goldan to... Aite. 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 Oh, I got one that is missing from here. Uta. And Utao. What's the thing that you're drawing with the program? Never seen it before. It's an extension called Web Paint Tool or Chrome extension, but there are a lot of clones of it. So, if you look up Web Paint Tool or any extensions that deal with a combination of draw and site or page and site, you'll find a lot of them, and they all are kind of using the same type of same basic script and box. So pick your poison. This specific one is called Web Paint Tool. So Web Paint Tool, if you're interested, and it's a Chrome extension by that name. However, I've been told that other people who use Firefox and stuff have also found an equivalent extension. Let's see. I did. What are my other godans? Oops. I did. I recently came to Japan to study Japanese beginner level. I'm really impressed how you write kanji and stroke order so fast. Really? This is fast? Yeah, I wish I was a little faster. It's fun. Have you ever tried writing? I like drawing. It comes from drawing. My memories tend to be more salient when I can envision myself literally drawing stuff. So I like looking at strokes and whatnot. It's an integration of my experience, I suppose. Yeah, nonde. Oops. Oh no, that's fine. And yonde. You have aphasia, you can't make mental pictures. I've heard that before too. I've heard that before as well, Tracy. You try to write kanji on Anki every day, but it's so hard to remember. Oh, that's understandable. I think at some point though, I know it might maybe, I'm not sure if you find that discouraging or not, but at some point, much like your output in speech and whatnot, it's like a different dimension. Like speaking is great, hearing, like speaking and then like intuiting, listening. At some point, writing becomes that too. I don't know when or where that has happened. It's been quite some time since I remembered when it wasn't. Yeah, it's been so long. I'm not connected to my younger, like my more inexperienced self when it comes to writing. No, I know what aphantasia is. Yeah, you're probably like the fourth person that mentioned that. Well, you gotta work around it, I suppose. It would be difficult for me to empathize with aphantasia since my visual cortex is incredibly. It's kind of one of my assets, I suppose, that I use for memory techniques. What other Godans? What was the theme? I don't remember what the theme was. from the previous unit. Oh, talk about... Oh, making requests. Making requests is the theme. Oh, then that reminds me. So... the phrase それから. それから. Also, you can stem it. Stem. Or te form. Into それから. Also, te as a conjunction. Conjunction of verbal phrases. And our irregular is suru. So, して. And then we also have progressive, which is imasu. The forms we got was imasu and imasen. Oops. So imasen. Oh, that's not the right sen. Oh, wait. No, that's not the right sen. Oh, you know what? I wrote the wrong sen twice in a row yesterday. The last 3 days. So I gotta correct that. It's corrected here, though. I just realized I wrote the wrong sen. The last 3 days. After writing it here. It's fine. It's okay. No one will ever know. No one will ever know the last 3 times I wrote se. I wrote the katakana se, not the hirakana se. So, like, you know, 書いています. 書いています. Present progressive. I feel like there are other godans and ichidan examples, but that's perfectly fine. Like, we could take kaku, right? Kaku would be kaiku. Kaite from over there. Asobu. Actually, I don't know what asobu was. We haven't gotten a boo yet. Shelve that for now. I remember most of them. We'll remember them as they come. Utau we can do. So utatte. Because we have an example. We have a prototypic u. Ku. Mu. Tsu. We also have tu. Tatsu. Whoops, that's not tatsu. Which reminds me, if we know te, we also know suwate. Suwate. It's funny because I know how that kanji sounds and written in hiragana, but when it comes to write the actual kanji, your brain is blank. That is a really I don't know how often other people have this problem, Juan, but I know exactly how you feel. After like maybe the first like 2 or 3 months, that's kind of like the memory thing that happened. So in Duolingo, I don't know if you use Duolingo or not, but Duolingo deliberately did it this way. Basically, in the first, all the way up to like section, I talked about this quite a bit in the review, all the way up to section unit 35, they gear towards that. And I had the exact same feeling where you can hear the sound, you immediately know what the hiragana is, and then it's even to the point where when you see a kanji, you know what that kanji sounds like, and you immediately think of the hiragana. And then at some point after section 3, unit 35, which now I'm on unit 45, right? They reset and decide to remove all the hiragana. So now you, at the end of this, you know, at least for me, I know over 2,300 words, right? But they immediately come as hiragana and how it sounds. So if I hear it, I know the hiragana, I can write the hiragana. And if I see the hiragana, I know how to like know what the word means. Now in the last like I'm gonna say the last 30 days, it's only now for me it's one step forward. However, somewhere through the lines of the first 6 months, I started converting over to kanji, and the kanji was really slow, right? Because they didn't want to emphasize the kanji yet. But right as they stopped at unit 35, then everything was about kanji. So then the pace tripled in Duolingo. So after this point, that's why now almost my entire screen is filled with kanji only, because I don't need the hiragana anymore. Duolingo has ground that so hard into the ground that it's one step, and I've already learned how to write lots of characters. Now here's a caveat though. My actual writing, most of my writing of radicals and kanji came from Hanzi, because over 3 months ago, I started writing Chinese, and Chinese doesn't have kana, and you had to learn, like when I had to remember things, I still write. So I wrote all of the Hanzi. So now because of Hanzi, they're both reinforcing each other. So when I started converting kanji anymore, it's easier for me to write it a lot of times than to see it and try to remember what it looks like. Like for example, like as though I have aphantasia. Like it's easier to write the thing than to imagine what it looks like, to remember it. But not that I know what that feels like, because generally I do all of the above, right? So this is how I highlight what Duolingo is doing. Now here's the catch. I would say if someone wanted to learn their ideal way, basically a lot of people say, oh, you shouldn't learn hiragana or you shouldn't learn romaji. It doesn't serve a purpose because you want to read natural things. I would say find a guide, skip all the way to section 3, unit 36, because what it really does is it basically starts over again. Now all the words are being replaced by the one thing that you will not have is grammar structure, right? But though they keep it as simple as possible, the complex sentences shrink back down to simple sentences. So you'll still learn grammar and get reinforced with grammar, and if you have another grammar source, it's still the same, right? Or it's very similar, because most people think you don't need the hiragana stage, right? And for me, it's been a wild journey, and I quite love it. Like hiragana is, and listening and knowing what the kanji is, it's like it's automatic now. And now when I look at a word, I only have to remember the kanji. So for now, it alleviates a lot of the task of needing to know the hiragana. So in a way, the writing has been offset and remembering the kanji has been offset. So most of my main focus is legitimately just remembering what the kanji is. If I see the kanji, I know what the read is, like what the hiragana is. So it's crazy, but that's how it turned out, and that's why, in my opinion, at some point, I feel like it'll come to you. Just don't give up, like have fun with it. Hopefully, it might not happen in the same way, but it's definitely worth whatever you're trying to put in, right? And there's still one more grammar thing. There was the phrasing, you had a te form plus I desu ka? I desu ka? Right? I desu ka? Kind of like a, is this okay? May I do this? With the te form. They're still slowly replacing the hiragana with kanji for you at the moment. Yeah, Tracy. It's all the way up to, it takes all the way up to section 3, unit 35 before they really ramp it up. Like they'll stop introducing new vocabulary. Like for example, between these two units, unit 44 and unit 45, there's no new vocabulary. There might be one thing, but that's it. So immediately after section 3, unit 35, they might introduce like one new vocabulary word because you already know most of the vocabulary word. Yeah. So I was not ready for it either. Like I didn't know that's what they wanted to do. And it makes sense now why the Japanese course is double the length of the Chinese course. So it's not a crash course. They doubled it. Admittedly, you could say it's like a business move. You know, it's like a business move to like double the length. I don't know. You can read it in the way that you want it. But what happened is you basically hit the reset button at section 3 after at section 3 unit 36. And now you're just replacing all the kanji, all the hiragana, which is kind of cool. I really like their idea. You have to stick for it for the long game though. Yeah, it kind of forced you to adapt the environment. Yeah. So in a way, it's I like their approach. It's different. It's definitely not what people told me it was going to be like, or what people think it was going to be like. Because most people either skipped everything or they did it before the change. So they used Japanese course in Duolingo before 2024, which is before this update. And this way, I wouldn't have expected this. Honestly, I was kind of expecting they just give me 1 or 2 kanji, new kanji, like, and then the rest are like repeats and stuff for the foreseeable future. But instead, it's just a ramp up where now everything is kanji, which is great. But there's also this funny thing where I don't know what's new and what's old anymore because everything seems familiar. That's kind of the scary part about how this is working out. Like it's effortless to pick up, in my opinion. It's it takes far less time to pick up kanji when I no longer have to worry about what it means and when I don't have to worry about what it sounds like anymore. So when I was playing Shashinko, which was the game I was playing before, everything sounded familiar. Like, sure, there was kanji everywhere, but everything sounded familiar. And the ones that don't sound familiar, they stick out like sore thumbs. So you can focus on those things. And everything else just sounds familiar and looks familiar. And then obviously there's furigana and whatnot. But now we're in this stage where I basically spend 80 to 90% of my time writing kanji and figuring out the connections. So I like connecting all the kanji together, all like the radicals together and whatnot, and talk about them, form stories and stuff about the characters. And the people that hang out regularly who are far more competent in Japanese than I am, we talk about the characters all the time. Like, oh yeah, this character has the right character, and then the left radical is the hand character, which also share the right character of this character shares with like Neko for some reason. And then there's ki, which is that same ki over there, that kind of thing. And that's how I start remembering all the kanji. Well, like for example, tateru, tateru. Tateru is also another thing that use tate or tatsu. Kumi tateru is this is still in that, right? And then you can relate things like kaku. There are two kakus. There's one for drawing primarily, and there's one for writing. There's a lot of things that Duolingo does that I don't particularly think people really care to notice. And I've been spending a lot of time having fun deconstructing their design. It's why I love video game. I love talking to devs and indie devs about, did I get it right? If I didn't, please tell me, because I would love to understand your thought process and whatnot. And understanding the thought process really gets you closer to how to better leverage what the design is. Of course, I don't have time for everything. It would be cool to have time for everything, but my voice and my brain and eyeballs start burning after a while. I mean, I'm already doing it like 10 hours a day, so to say that I really like language learning is probably an understatement. However, I typically like most things I choose to do. So, with time permit, it's always assumed that if you have time and resource, you can make it work. Anyways, that's a pretty fun topic I want to talk about. All right, so let's go and just double check. Let's double check if we covered all the stuff, right? So unit 44, we have heijitsu, right? Heijitsu. And oh no, that's fine. Yeah, this is sentaku, right? Soji, and then oh, I messed up. Dang it, I messed up. Ototoe is messed up. I used ato. I use ato instead of toy. Yeah, I screwed this up. It's fine. And then there's denki. Key is missing. Right, key is missing. So yeah, I screwed up. That's fine. Well, we'll get it tomorrow. We have 2 more days to iron that out. And then this was yesterday. We just got exposed yesterday to this. So let's look at what we have. We have eiga. That's fine. Eiga. Right. Tegami. Uta. And utau. Right. Uta and utau. Okay, that was fine. Our radical guess. Sampo. And then it'd be sampo suru. This is e, as in the picture e. And we have ongaku. This is mai. So we have ichimai, nimai, sanmai, yonmai, gomai, yakumai, jumai, and nanmai, right? So that's that. You have more confidence from what I said. I hope I don't want to be responsible, but I'm glad you feel better about your language learning. I don't want to make any guarantees. As long as you express things, I think, and you are able to explain what is making you, like, I always like to encourage people to think about how to explain your troubles or explain how you feel, or like analyze how you would explain it to another person, like the things that are tripping you up or the things. And in my opinion, the person speaking, like me, I don't even have to tell you how to fix those things, because if you spend a lot of time, like myself, analyzing or thinking about, like, you know what, this just isn't sticking, right? And then you go and write and explain why it's not sticking to you, then it will give you ideas. Maybe one day you keep explaining to yourself or other people, like, you don't have to necessarily literally explain it to someone, but explain it as though you're going to explain it to someone. And then if there is someone, you can explain it to me. right? You can explain to me. Then there's an opportunity to exchange ideas between learners. Or you can inspire yourself, because if you can explain to yourself the different things that don't work and things that you trouble, sometimes when you go and watch other people and do what other things, you'll be like, wait a minute, that is something I'm having a problem with. And then you incorporate whatever you watch into the explanation, and then you can possibly remediate the things yourself, right? And when I'm trying to be encouraging, is the idea that if I ask you a question and say, oh, what do you think is the trouble thing you have, and you are explaining it explicitly, I have no confidence, like I have like much more confidence that you'll probably find the solution yourself. It's a different story when someone comes up and say, I think I've tried everything. I don't know what to do. What should I do? And immediately I just think, there's no way I can help you, or there's no way I can inspire you. If you honestly already think that you have tried everything, then that isn't a state of mind that will be enabled. My first thought would be, is there any way you can believe there's a way to have it work? Like, do you trust me, or like, how does that work? Honestly, it brings a lot of more like catharsis to me when someone says, oh yeah, I got it, because now I know how to explain it to myself and to other people. And if you can do that, I feel like most people, if you're already learning language learning, you are more than capable of using that explainer to figure out how to complement it. Like when someone says, oh, I burned out, my first question is, how do you define that? How do you get burned out? Like what is that? And if they're able to describe it in a detail that I can understand, then I don't even have to provide any advice. It provides the person with confidence that they know what the problem is, and they will probably know how to solve it. And that's kind of like the only reason I'm using that's one of the bigger reasons why I choose to use anything that is applicable, because we're gonna figure out a way to make it work, at least in my opinion. So this is my like example of that. It's not the most ideal, like, you know, some people could say like, oh, but you could achieve so much more faster Japanese and stuff. It's like, that's fine. It's not my primary goal. My primary goal is to engage in fixing or finding fun ways to make something work. Like you can definitely, it's important if it's, you must do it, right? You must do it, like a job or something. You have to be very like consistent and whatnot, and you have deadlines. But when you're doing something as a hobby, generally speaking, the more creative you become, the more likely that you aren't ever concerned about your confidence subsides, because you know your creativity and your problem solving will handle it, which is what I want, hopefully, that other people I speak to at some point, they feel so comfortable that it's like, you know, this doesn't work anymore, I know what to do next, that kind of thing. And that's kind of, hopefully that's the confidence that you're getting in your language learning, instead of like guarantees of like, oh, just keep at it kind of thing. I don't want people to like do a trust me bro kind of thing. There's no way I can foresee the future. My advice is not particularly about the future, but more about enabling someone with enough confidence to experiment and understand that their problems are solvable even by themselves. It's not necessary, and it doesn't have to be necessarily dependent on someone else who they have no control over, right? And also they could be motivated by different things, you know, secretly. You don't know, I might be selling your product tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not selling a product, but you never know. So hopefully that's okay. I don't want to downplay whatever I'm doing, but at the same time, it is definitely worth remembering that self-study and self-motivation is definitely it's more precedent than some random stranger who can provide some encouraging words. I still try my best though, to be as encouraging as possible. Yasui versus Yasui. Wait. What's the second thing? Of course, they try to trip me up. Yasui and Yasai. Oh, Yasui versus Yasai. What is this thing you say? Is this like a emote phrase? Of course. Sorry, Blair. I'm very curious about that. I think I've seen it more than once already. It's exacerbation. Exacerbation. Blah, 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 blah. Exacerbation. Exasperation. Kinda. Oh, okay. That's kind of a hard word. What the heck? Okay, and then we have shashin, and tori. Tori is not in here, so we have plus tori. And then I added tomodachi and asobu because asobu is part of this chapter too. It's not listed. Not everything is listed. That's fine. Well, we're gonna go back to our. We have an hour. That's not too bad. Okay. All right. Let's get to our lesson.
映画
So, 映画。
昨日彼を見ました。
昨日No?
昨日彼を見ました。
Oh, is that pause? 昨日彼を
昨日彼を見ました。
見ました。Okay, I guess you want to go. You saw?
ました。
I guess. I would have more likely used 会いました instead of 見ました but that's fine.
昨日彼を見ました。
彼を見ました Sure.
書きます。
書きます
書きます。
書きます This 書
書きます。
This 書きます
見ます。
見ます
見ます。
Okay. 見ます。
見ます。
This 見ます。There, I know two. As
見て。
well. 見て。
見て。
Okay. That 見て。Well, there are two 見て。映画。
映画
昨日のニュースを見ましたか？昨日の
ニュース。
ニュース
ニュースを来ました。Or oh wait, this is one that isn't logged.
習い
習い。習います。Oh, 習います。Okay, I need to remember 習います。That's actually a new character for me. Oh. I remember my mnemonic for this though. It has something. It has study twice up here. So 習います is learning to learn.
昨日のニュースを見ましたか？習い
It's not part of this prompt.
昨日のニュースを見ましたか？
見ましたか？
見ましたか？
Okay. Not comprehensive, so we gotta make mental notes. Is it Narai. So it's naru, right? Naru. No, it's not naru. It's now. No, it's not now. I'm so confused. Hold up. Nariru. No. Wait. Narau, right? Oh yeah, Narau. Sorry. Narau. Misspoke. Narau. So I'm opening a tab up for Narau so that I remember that this is not included in the review at the end.
昨日のニュースを見ましたか？
Oh, mimashita ka? So now we're gonna pick up all the stuff that isn't available to us.
昨日のニュースを見ましたか？
Okay, it's fine. Okay.
新しい
新しい本
本を
を書きました。
書きました。
Okay. 新しい本を書きました。Okay. 午後
午後見ました。映画
読みます。書きました。
左、
右
平日、
映画
映画
外映画
見ました。
晩
Oh, sorry. Ban, I did this yesterday and said Iro. Ban,
書きました。
間。
昨日映画を見ました。
昨日映画を見ました。Fine, I'll put in the front. この本を書きました。blah blah blah blah. Sorry. この本を書きませんでした。
本この
本を
書きませんでした。
書きませんでした。書きませんでした。新しい本を書きましたか？
新しい本を書きましたか？
よく映画を見ます。
よく映画
What is this? Oh,
Oh.
that slipped through the cracks. よく映画を見ます。
見ます。
That slipped through the cracks. Oh. Hey, we completed our friends quest because Lotus was not being a slacker. So we have 30 minutes. We'll finish this with the stuff. Tegami. All right. Tegami. Sampo.
散歩
Okay. Sampo. Tegami.
手紙
手紙、
Sampo.
手紙
Oh, Tegami. I'm curious if Lotus was working on his Chinese.
椅子
椅子。
電気散歩映画手紙紙
散歩
手紙
手紙
手紙布団映画台所散歩手紙
散歩 散歩
手紙、人気、新聞、散歩、本棚、
手紙
散歩、
散歩、
人気、
人気、
映画、
映画、
布団、
布団、
手紙、
Your speaking practice on the phone app now for Japanese? I was told that, Tracy. Yeah, I was told that. Yeah. Great update. Definitely great update.
3時散歩
I asked Lotus to try it out to see how it goes. 散歩。散歩。
散歩、散歩、
Have you tried it out, Tracy?
散歩、
散歩
散歩、
散歩
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 散歩、
Okay. Eh? Eh?
Eh?
Eh? Sorry. I couldn't resist.
え、
It's my impression of
Eh?
slightly disappointed but surprised Japanese person.
Eh?
Eh? No, sorry. I'm done.
え、
I find it really endearing when they
Eh?
do that.
Eh?
Eh? Eh? Eh?
Eh?
It's the most tonal a Japanese person becomes, really, a lot of times.
Eh?
Oops. No one saw that. Oh!
Eh?
I don't want to talk about it. Okay. Tegami.
手紙
Tegami. Yes, it's a good addition. I started with Spanish, and when I stopped, I noticed what... Yeah.
手紙、
Interestingly enough, the Chinese course already had speech function.
手紙、
And I think it really has to do with the
Tegami.
proprietary,
手紙、
probably like proprietary
Tegami.
or available open source things for voice recognition.
手紙
Because I have known historically that the Chinese,
手紙
like for Chinese, they had some really wonderful open
Tegami.
source, reliable
Tegami.
open source stuff that they could base their voice recognition on.
手紙、
For Spanish is far more advanced, and since you can actually practice a conversation with AI, which was, yeah, they have to move, you know, there's moving updates, and I heard about the Spanish one too. I can't wait to start Spanish, by the way. It is their flagship thing, so I'm looking forward to it. Spanish is technically my second language that I learned and acquired for some time until I can't, like,
散歩
it's pretty bad now. So I'm looking forward to going back to Spanish. I went from the least familiar language to most. That's part of my life. Spanish is easily regular as well. So I went from Japanese, then Chinese, to Spanish. So I wanted to start with developing strategies and stuff for language that I have the least active knowledge in. And then see where it goes.
散歩
The reason why I did that is because if I get too comfortable,
散歩
if you start off really too comfortable, me personally, I don't try hard enough if I'm too comfortable.
散歩散歩
So I gotta try hard.
散歩
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 散歩。
散歩
Not like the stuff has to be hard. I have to try hard. You can try hard on easy things. That's very possible. I just have a habit of being too laxed and not rigorous enough when it's something I've done a million times, right? So using Duolingo to learn language a different way than I would expect was very engaging to me, for better or for worse. Learning things inefficiently sometimes can challenge myself to make it work in a way that is efficiently satisfying to me. I thought it was a fun mental exercise.
歌
It's kind of like when someone has a problem, you don't pretend like that person, you don't like ignore that person. Like I know this sounds a little bit like, oh, it's not the same, but like if you see a problem, like say it's a person, right? You don't go and say, oh, I'm just gonna swap out the person, if you know what I mean. And that's not how my personality works. So when I'm teaching and educating, that's not how that works. Like I am the one that is going to try to make it work. Like you know, and it's not giving up on something. And a lot of times when you get so used to like always picking your challenges, right? Voluntarily, not the things you have to do. But like if I pick a challenge, the idea is I have to pick an environment that causes me to want to work harder. So yeah, in a way, I would definitely learn faster with certain tools that are much better optimized for sure. Is it exciting or fun? I mean, not exactly. No, not really. Being reminded of all the things I know is not as fun as a hobby. If it was a job, oh yeah, I most certainly will do the most efficient thing that I know how to do because there's a timetable and whatnot. For sure, right? Spanish and Italian was fun, but for some reason you're finding Japanese more interesting, challenging. Yes, I see. Yeah, I have a lot of stories about Spanish, so we'll see how that works. And obviously, I'm going to be learning Spanish with Chinese and Japanese. So whenever I'm learning Spanish, I'm going to think about Chinese and Japanese. When I'm learning Chinese, I'm thinking about Japanese. Very difficult. I need Duo to get a gray mode. I'm going blind. Oh. Great. Eh. Wait, are you still using the white background too? Are you also using the white background as well? I mean, some people prefer it that way. Okay. So I'm just kind of curious when I'm asking. Not insinuating. Your Twitch is dark, so switching back and forth hurts. Oh, yeah, that will do it.
西
Yeah, that will do it. Yeah, I get what you mean.
歌
Skue,
前
mae,
歌
uta,
歌
e,
歌
uta,
歌
uta,
マン
man,
鏡
kagami.
念
And I'm not trying to be a sensationalist, Tracy, and I don't know if Kwanzaa wrote. I'm not trying to be a sensationalist. It's largely I like doing this kind of thing, like making something maybe suboptimal, optimal, or like a little bit more optimal or something. But some people could come here and see it as oh, you're just doing it because you want to like be right about something. That's rarely the case. So I don't want to end up appearing like I'm not doing this for sensationalism. I actually genuinely like running a mile by hopping on one foot. No one asked for it, but it is certainly a fun idea. I could see myself like if I had camera equipment and stuff, or like someone to monitor, I would like go out each day and like hop on one foot for a mile or something, or like get up to a mile by hopping on one foot. It's a hobby, you know? No one asked for it. Like, no one's asking to make Duolingo work. In fact, it's actually infuriating. It infuriated some people that they find that someone's having fun with Duolingo. So,
口、
ち、
歌、
歌、
え、窓、
roku.
録、
Yeah, it'd be easier to learn Spanish, but it's not as engaging for you personally. Yeah, that's it's a very similar feeling, Tracy. Yeah, it's very similar. See if I was smart, I side by side them. My monitor is big enough. Oh, yeah, true. Then you can get accustomed to it. Yeah. Instead of getting flash banged and reverse banged every time. Okay.
歌、
え、
店、
店、
棚、
棚。Oh, right. 棚。
窓、
窓。
歌、
歌。え。Sorry, that was a little aggressive.
歌、
歌。歌。
歌、
歌、
So, for the record,
歌、
I hope that
歌、
when people like get interested in stuff, or maybe
Uta.
just something, they see that it's a hobby, like
歌、
and I'm not I want to say things about like
Uta.
if you enjoy
歌、
how you're doing the thing and it's not like hurting you, or maybe like it's not mandatory and stuff, I think that's in my opinion, the most optimal way of enjoying something.
歌、
Bending your hobbies
歌、
to enjoying it in a way that someone else prescribes it to you,
Uta.
I think kind of defeats the whole kind of it robs or like it diminishes a lot of the whole idea of enjoying a hobby.
歌、
It's very different
歌、
if it's like a necessity for you, right? Then acquiring expert advice and whatnot and how to do it right and wrong, that's certainly up for discussion.
映画、
Like someone would say to me like, oh, you would be more successful and more efficient if you just download these Anki decks. And I'm like, okay, all right. I agree with them, probably. Like it's probably gonna be more efficient, for sure. But they never asked me if I was gonna have more fun. Like they didn't even ask me
映画、
if I was having fun or what my goals are and whatnot,
映画、
right?
映画、
映画、
映画
映画、
What's the most sensational part about all this experience is that most people, their first comment is either
映画、
they're telling me I'm wasting my time, or that they're impressed that there's someone who's serious about Duolingo, or like who's seriously using Duolingo, and that's kind of funny. I think that pretty much explains itself. Am I taking Duolingo seriously? Not really. I'm taking my learning seriously.
手紙、
That's irrelevant if I'm using Duolingo or not. It could have been anything. Duolingo has a Twitch outreach, and it had a section. They tried to make Twitch work. I honestly, I hope they bring it back. It's like a dead thing now, obviously. But I would be up for that challenge.
手紙
And
手紙
Duolingo has a timetable.
手紙
So what I mean
手
is,
紙
what am I gonna do after the courses?
手紙
手紙
Right.
手紙
Don't worry though.
手紙
Or worry not. There's still like at the pace I'm going, there's still like 6 months. 6+ months.
散歩
Meanwhile, I'll be doing other things. Slowly doing other things as well. Or trying to come up with ways to do other things.
散歩
Yeah, it's interesting to think. Mm-hmm.
散歩
Shashinko still has like 3 months.
散歩
The SRS schedule that I place
Sampo.
myself under will
散歩
still take about another 3 months before I get to the end
散歩
and extracted all the kanji from Shashinko. And then maybe in 3 months, not even the games that the other Japanese learning games that are supposed to come out aren't even slated within that time yet. The next game is, so to speak, probably. And Wagotabi window has moved to like 2025.
散歩
I do have a beta key, but I'm waiting for them to update the thing
散歩
substantially. So Shashinko has other substitutes. Sure. I did get a chance to talk to the dev, and the dev said DLC is not off the table. At the same time, it seems like the dev has been
え
very like busy and whatnot, and haven't really considered if they're gonna release new more stuff.
え
Oftentimes indie devs make a game, one and done, and then move on to the next project.
え
え
It's not like Duolingo, which has a running
Yeah.
rolling development cycle and all that stuff.
え
And constant flood
Eh?
of revenue.
え
え
It. Okay, I'm gonna stop when I can touch
手紙
all of the things, just to confirm the stroke order. I need to confirm the stroke order on all of them.
散歩
Whoops.
散歩
This one was fine.
散歩
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 散歩散歩
Sampo. Sorry, every time they say sampo, it sounds like my parents saying sample, but in English, their attempt to say sample in English, sampo. Have you tried Yukin Kana? I haven't yet. I have heard some people tried Yukin. Yeah. That's the RPG Maker one, right? The one that's made in RPG Maker. There's also like Learn Japanese Survival thing, which is RPG Maker. Oh. Ongaku.
音楽
音楽
Which is funny to say because there's a back to school sale right now. And if you look at the language learning section, there are only like 4 games listed. Shashinko being the dominant one. And then the other
音
ones
楽
aren't even available.
音楽
Like they're wish list.
音楽
That's how
音楽
low. That's Hiragana battle? No. I know that. No. I'm saying 2 things. Yeah, Shashinko is on sale right now. It's 2 things. I said 2 things. There's survival and Hiragana battle, but it's made by the same people who did the Learn Japanese series. And then Yukin Kana. Oh wait, maybe it's not in RPG Maker though. Hey. Oh, no, never mind. This one isn't. This one's the one with the static background. Yeah, I don't necessarily think I can kana anymore with you can kana. Yeah, it's a typing one. Yeah, it's a typing one. Yeah.
音楽
You get you get you get paid Friday. Steam, take my money. Oh no.
音楽
音楽
I'm sure Ryan will be very pleased.
音楽
Yeah, I think we're not going to do that.
音楽
So far I'm looking for prospective
音楽
opportunities to interact with
音楽
existing devs. Unless the Yukin Kana dev is still working. I don't know if that person. I like to interact with people. So I had the chance.
散歩
I figured if I do Shashinko long enough, I would, because Shashinko is more or less a solo dev. So there is some opportunities there. Interacting with the people who make things.
散歩
Goes without saying, it's the most important, it's the most enjoyable part.
散歩
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 I had an opportunity to
散歩
talk to Ryan. Ryan is his name.
散歩
One day.
散歩
散歩
Have you used Yukin Kana? There is another typing game. Although that typing game, the developer went dark. And the game is still listed, though. It's called Kanji Kitchen. It's called Kanji Kitchen, but I don't know what happened to the developer. It's been It's been like a year, like almost half a year since the last time, or even more, half a year or more since the dev said anything. Hopefully the project wasn't abandoned. I think it's very cute. Kanji Kitchen.
Eh.
It looks pretty neat. It sounds ambitious.
え
Have you learned French? How do I keep consistent in learning new language and learn even more efficiently?
Eh.
Unfortunately, I don't really know how to answer that question. What are you doing now? I have not learned French. No. I don't have plans on learning French either. Gillian? L?
Eh?
How are you learning at the moment? I honestly think that typically when it comes to like being consistent, when it comes to like consistency, motivation, like finding sources of motivation or constantly elevating your motivation is pretty paramount to consistency. I don't know what that is though, like for you, since we don't know each other. And in terms of learning more efficiently, I'm sure there are probably a lot of people who have different strategies to learn more efficiently. I think my primary often suggestion is constantly working on your engagement, right? If input is where it's bottlenecking, then finding more engaging inputs consistently and then developing consistent sources of motivation is
音楽
as much as I can say to a complete stranger. 音楽 Looks like Yukin Kana is a solo dev. It's just listed by James Mullang. Yeah, but I don't know if that person is still making games or not. Because I haven't. It's not recent. Yukin Kana is not recent. 音楽
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 Finding a partner to learn French with, that's always fun. Like being able to convince a friend. Maybe interesting,
音楽
have a friend that has a shared interest. That's always a nice little
音楽
bonus.
音
Probably
楽
a gold mine when it comes to having someone to share
音楽
the experience with. Always nice. Right.
Ut- 歌
I don't know any French at all. Well, you know, other than the memeable stuff.
歌
歌
Well, you're welcome. I hope you
Uta.
find your source of wisdom, source of experience.
歌
歌
歌
Like, to give you an example, I look forward to my Duolingo lesson every day, right? The question is, whenever you stop saying that to yourself, like, you stop being excited for a lesson, and if you sit down, like, if you take some time and encourage yourself to write down why is it that you no longer look forward to your lessons or no longer look forward to interacting with this thing, the hope is if you can explain why you're no longer motivated, right, then it will give you a step towards finding out what you want to look for, just to change that, right? Like, for example, a lot of times when I ask someone, like, why, thanks, go, why do you not like to do, you know, Duolingo lessons anymore? And then someone would say, oh, well, it's too slow. And then you find out, is that true? And then if it's true, then you find something faster, right? I know that sounds a really like basic, well, duh kind of thing. But sometimes when you get really caught up with studying and learning and focusing on efficiency, what does fall by the wayside a lot of times is motivation, engagement, right? The idea is that if you're going to study something, especially a hobby, one, repetitiveness would be a common complaint. So one is to be able to find what is it that makes it not engaging it over time. Obviously, Duolingo, for example, is incredibly repetitive. However, I know what makes Duolingo repetitive to me, so I stopped making it repetitive, or like I try to address that, and that's largely why I continue to use Duolingo.
歌
And the things I do are not in Duolingo.
歌
It's also a
Uta.
part of why I stream Duolingo.
歌
歌
As opposed to like studying on my own. Wait, did I already spend 30 minutes doing this? Hang on, give me
散歩
散歩
like a good example is
散歩
it is not efficient
散歩
to be yapping while you're studying
散歩
a language. However,
散歩
散歩
I would never trade it. I would never trade it for anything
散
else,
歩
because I don't get bored when I'm yapping with you. Now there obviously you have to do your due diligence, right? You can't be too distracted away from whatever to reach your goals. But my goals are to interact with language learners. In fact, my goal isn't even to sound native or be fluent in Japanese. interact with language learners and figure out what in finding and farming their experience on how they're approaching language learning. The more you can explain to me, the more likely that I'll be able to comment. You go through phases of coasting and cramming on Duo? Oh, that's interesting. And then what do you do something else in between? Like when you're coasting in Duo, that means that you're probably doing something else. And then when you're cramming, you have no other time for something else. So like what do you do when you're cruising on Duo? I love listening to it say uta over and over again. Uta.
習いました。
Okay, naraimashita.
習いました。
This is the new vocabulary that I have to remember. Do I remember naraimashita still? Yes, I do. Naraimashita. So naraimashita. Okay. I gotta remember that. Still.
習いました。習いました。
Okay. I think it's yeah, and you're focusing on Anki at the moment. I see. That's what I look forward to at the moment. Yeah, that's exactly it, Tracy. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I think L, if L is still here, I tend to encourage people to have enough tools, enough things, right, that you can cycle through them. So when you get tired of one, you can cycle to a new one or discover a new one. And at some point, don't forget that you can revisit old one, right? I think that's a really important step as well. Some people keep moving forward. Eventually, you could run out of things like permutations or recreate or have to create on your own. That's perfectly fine if you're a creative person. Alternatively, you can have enough discovery in the input from other people, like being open-minded and being encouraged by other people, where eventually you just cycle, right? That's how I found you. I searched learning Japanese on Duolingo. Oh, that's funny. Wait, I don't even have Twitch. Do I have Twitch listed? So, oh yeah, I do have Twitch in the description. So honestly, that's beautiful. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like sometimes I get tired of jogging one way in the morning, so I decide to swap it up. Every other day I jog at a faster pace, and then every other day I jog at a slower pace, and all together it does bring up the act of jogging, right? You get to appreciate different things while still working towards a specific goal. So the idea is it doesn't necessarily have to be identical, but there's kind of ways you can like scoot and be creative and bring it all together. And most of the time when I hear someone say, I don't want to study, but that's how I'll become fluent, then there's a sustainability problem. Consistency is going to be is likely going to be a problem unless that person is having another source of positive energies, because that is going to sap your energy every day. It is possible to be like, oh, my life is really great somewhere else, like enjoyment. Like for example, you could use like counter enjoyment. So you could take something that you really enjoy, use that as the energy battery, and then prepare yourself for the thing you don't enjoy to get to a different task, right? That's kind of like a job. If you don't like your job, what do? You make your hobbies and your outside life really, really good, right? If you can't help your job situation right now, you can elevate the rest of your life to be prepared to perform at the job. That is an alternative for hobbies. So you could have one hobby that's providing you with energy in order to support another hobby, and that's perfectly fine. Most of the time though, we have to take into account the amount of time people have. So oftentimes they have time for one hobby, like at most, like one dedicated hobby. So if you go towards your hobby and you're just like, oh my gosh, this costs too much to maintain, that's a negative thing. It's going to be non-sustainable over time. Like even if you were a millionaire and you're like, oh, but I don't want to spend money on this hobby, that's still a red flag, regardless of what the actual reality of the sources are. If you cannot bring yourself to constantly look forward to a hobby, you are voluntarily I mean, it is worth stating. It sounds obvious until it's not so obvious to the person, right? These things happen gradually. You start falling out of love with passions, and then you start getting into that situation where you identify as that hobby and you can't quit it. And you enter this like life cycle of draining your energy through the hobby, right? Cue the person who has been struggling to learn Japanese the same way since they started for 4 years straight because they don't want to abandon the one technique or one thing that they believed in to liberate some enjoyment just temporarily. You don't have to like abandon the thing. You can temporarily use a different type of strategy, get refreshed. Maybe that strategy will inspire you on your original strategy. For me, you bet your like imaginary dollars that whatever I learned from Shashinko is constantly it's lifted into Duolingo. Whatever I know in Duolingo, I'm using it in Shashinko. They complement each other. So whenever a kanji I know from Shashinko, it gets locked into Duolingo. Whenever I see a word that comes up that appeared in Shashinko, I'm thinking of an image, that the photo that I took in Shashinko. So sometimes all the other things also bring you together, right? It's the word I would use instead of repetition, instead of like repetitiveness, I would use the word complacency. Complacency. Since you use fastidious, I love that word. I would use the word complacency. So basically, at some point, and I misspelled complacency. I don't want to talk about it. I'm terrible with English now. English is my second language. I'm just kidding. Wait, is that how you spell complacency? So complacency. So when you know that complacency is setting in, that's typically associated with a decrease in motivation and engagement because you've gotten so used to it, right? It's getting old, it's getting comforting, but comfort comes with complacency. I always look, right? I love my ramen, right? I love my ramen, like my standard ramen. Like at some point though, it has diminished returns. So swap it up a little bit, then come back. Swap it up a little bit, then come back, right? And complacency is a human condition. I don't think anyone is necessarily immune to this, and it might appear like I'm not being complacent, but it's largely because I'm changing up the way I'm interacting with Duolingo like every 25 days or so. I'm like actively trying to think of new ways to engage with Duolingo, because Duolingo itself isn't going to change that rapidly. Although, hear me out here, just like you mentioned, like Tracy, when they integrated mic things, Duolingo does change. It actually changed like 3 times when I started Japanese. The Chinese side changed 2 times, like really fundamentally changed. So that keeps things fresh, right? So I don't actually sometimes even to change it. I'm only reacting to the change. So that's kind of nice. Your textbook isn't going to react to you. You have to react to the textbook, or you have to bring something in. So why is school not as engaging over time for a lot of people is if it doesn't work from the start, tough luck, right? You're a kid, you might not be able to innovate yet because you don't have a lot of experience and self-awareness, but as an adult, you have the ability to change something that's static to something that's engaging to you. you have experience. You have your experience to guide you. If you're a lot on the younger side, that's largely why, like, if school doesn't take, good luck. And then if school does take, it gets old very quickly. Largely because you're reliant on your teachers to provide different forms of engagement. Like, your teachers gotta, that's one of the sides that I don't particularly prescribe to, where like every teacher, I know there's some standardization. You need to have some standardization, that's understandable. However, the personal touch of a teacher is hardly it's understated. It's kind of like you're picking Twitch streamers, right? Or you're picking where you get advice about your diet. I'm gonna effectively, I know this is gonna sound a little reductive. Who you get your this is something that I encourage quite a lot. Find the person that you personally resonate with. Invest in the person, even if it's a parasocial relationship. It's far more applicable than someone you don't resonate with, right? There's so many pragmatic reasons and logical reasons to find someone you resonate with who's supplying the same semantic knowledge, right? If you're asking someone like, oh, how do you self-improve? Start by finding someone who is very self-improving and you resonate with them, because for every one of that guy, there's multiple versions of that person, right? That's kind of like picking out your teacher and picking out your method and whatnot. I think investing in people and understanding your stuff is going to go a long way, because the details, like the efficacy, right, the efficiency and stuff, the methods get repackaged all the time. And now the question is, who repackages it that is like you and resonates with you? Those are the people that you can't substitute for. You cannot substitute for the way they make you feel and be motivated and like laugh and stuff, right? I hope everyone can find someone, or like find various things like that. Like someone who gets you up and running each day because you have to run. You might as well run with someone, even through a parasocial relationship. Be excited to be that, right? Like find someone who gets you excited to cook, right? Then you'll more likely pick up cooking than someone you follow because everyone else is following and they have the best technique or something, right? I know that sounds maybe a little too strong on one side. It's underrepresented, the importance of understanding people and their motivation. It sounds daunting. However, in the long run, it will also make you less socially insecure, right? It will improve, like in my opinion, it will contribute to interpersonal skills and expression over time. So in the future, I will ask, if I can ask you like, oh, what kind of person do you think you would like to have a conversation with? And oftentimes that question deals with a projection of yourself, right? Like, what is your hypothetical friend is like, right? Have you decided like what are your skills that would make people attracted to specific groups? That kind of thing rarely gets talked about anymore. Most of the time it's about hyper objectivity. What is the best objective way to get something done versus what is the most relatable way you can get something done taught by a person you relate to, as opposed to someone who doesn't relate to you and is less likely to understand or be able to project, like coincidentally, things that may resonate with you. So something that may be hard can be easier, if not easy, presented by someone you resonate with. because they have similar things. Like if you study the person, they have similar thoughts and maybe like relevant life experiences that make it so that when they approach something, they are more likely to approach it in a manner that is suitable and relatable to you. So investing in people is kind of goated and underrated. Following trends means that you hope, like for example, if you're following a trend, the first thing I want to hear, in my opinion, from the person is they feel at home with the people who are following those trends. Then, in my opinion, anything they consume will be incredibly relatable, consistent, and whatnot. Not that you're following the trend because it's objectively the best thing. Because if it's objective, then it's void of feeling, void of personal sentiments. So now we go back to language learning, right? Who is more engaging for you to learn language from? Probably someone you resonate with. And yes, in Japanese, I do have a specific podcast vlogger who I resonate with. In fact, that person doesn't even really give lessons or anything. They just like making silly videos to learn Japanese in a different way. He runs an orphanage. Actually, he's working on a second orphanage. He's so adorable. And that's how that works. Don't oh, are you asking me? Hold up. Are you asking me where? What animal? This one? Oh, red panda? Nihon? Oh, red panda. How do I say red panda? Do you know how to say red panda? I don't know how to say red panda. Oh, wait. We can just say it. Or like we can use a Google translator, right? Red panda. According to Google Translate, it's Desa panda. Oh yeah, Desa panda. Right. Desa panda, the lesser panda. They're using the Chinese designation. So the lesser panda. So lesser panda. Yeah. Desa panda. Yeah, these little guys. Akai panda works too. Akai no. I think I don't know if they ever described the panda as yeah. Let's panda desu. Panda desu. I do not. Oh. I don't know what a kiwi is. How do you say kiwi? No, it's probably just kiwi. Kiwi, because there's a kiwi here too. Oh no, but that doesn't work because probably just kiwi in katakana. Let me see. Kiwi. Oh, kiwi. Oh, kiwi. Kiwi. No, that's probably not saying the same thing though. It's probably saying kiwi, the fruit. Kawaii desu ne? Hai, kawaii desu. Yeah. Yes. Let's panda. はい。かわいいです。Let's see.
歌
let's see.
は
歌は、um, 日本人ですか？ I see your videos. Awesome. You're really, really a hard worker. Just stay learning a language for a large amount of time and not give up. Don't keep up the hard work and good luck. Thanks, unknown. Thanks, unknown. Thanks for the kind words. Uta wa utai
歌い
utaemasen.
ます。
Utaemasen. Uta wa utaemasen. I'm thinking of how Blair likes the word uta over and again. Uta.
習いません
Naraimasen.
習いません
Yomimasen. Where's yomi?
読みません歌いません
Utaimasen. Okay.
歌いま
Alright. Tegami.
手紙
どんな本を読みますか？
どんな本を読みますか？
どんな本を
読みますか？
読みますか？どんな本を読みますか？
歌
歌
彼女はいつも新聞を読みます。
彼女は新聞は彼女はいつも新聞を読みますか？ or 読みます？
彼ら
Whoops.
彼ら
Just kidding.
彼女
はいつも
を読みます。
読みます。そう、
新聞
いつも新聞を読みます。
彼女はいつも新聞を読みます。
彼女はいつも新聞を読みます。
何を習いますか？
何を習いますか？ What? That's one way to put it.
手紙習います。歌いました。読みません。読みます。
What will you learn? 何を習いますか？
習いますか？
習いますか？ A word I like hearing in my Aki deck is oi. Yeah, oi is funny. It to me, Tracy, oi elicits the meaning itself. Like to me, like when you eat too much and you're like oi, oi, and this means like too much, like just like in excess. Is one of the like the expressions like oi, like something is oi, right? And I'm like oi. I really, yeah, that's a good one. Oi, oi is great. I feel like writing notes is taking forever today. I'm sorry to hear. Or like oi, yeah, you oi, you over there, yeah, oi, as in like hey, oi, yeah. That too. This is how you remember the vocabulary.
見ました
Mimashita.
手紙
Utaimashita.
読みません
Naraimasu.
布団、
音楽、
週末、
歌、
手紙、
昨日はたくさん歌いました
No, taksan. Why did your voice just keep going up? Okay. Kino wa taksan utaimashita. Her voice just kept going up.
昨日はたくさん歌いました
It just keeps getting louder. Sorry, that's part of Zadi's synthetic voice. I'm being dramatic. Kino wa takusan utaimashita. I love using oi to get attention. Oy vey. How's that one? Oy vey. Good grief, sorry. That's not close to the mood. Sorry, I broke the mood there. Are you guys familiar with oy vey? I guess maybe I had Jewish friends. Like I was acquainted with some Jewish people. I think oy vey has Jewish origins. I'm not sure if that's accurate. Like as a kid I was told that was the case, but it's kind of like oi, as in like oi, but you add oy vey, oy vey, oy vey. That's where I got the whole oi thing, like oi. You don't read the letter. Tegami o yomimasu.
手紙を読みます
Yomimasu. Tegami o yomimasu. この歌が好きです。Okay, sure.
この歌
この歌が好きです。
です
この歌が好きです。Alright, I'm really
昨日
behind.
は友達と遊びました。
We gotta move.
昨日は友達と遊びました。
昨日は歌 No.
昨日は友達と遊びました。
友達と
友達と
遊びました。
遊びました。
昨日は友達と遊びました。
昨日は友達と遊びました。
遊びません
遊びません。
遊びません
彼女はあまりおしゃれじゃない。
彼女 Interesting. Okay.
彼女
は彼女は
おしゃれ
おしゃれ
あまり
あまり Wait.
彼女はあまりおしゃれじゃない。
Oh. Really?
じゃない。
Oh, really?
彼女はあまりおしゃれじゃない。
彼女はあまりおしゃれじゃない。Oh, no. That's kind of mean, actually.
彼女はあまりおしゃれじゃない。
Interesting that they dropped the polite marker. Huh.
彼女はあまりおしゃれじゃない。
She's not very stylish. Shumon is certainly a word. Yeah, Shumon is definitely certainly a word. Every time you have to do like shitsu. Oof. For me, that's hard. Shitsu. Like shitsukaiki or shitsu. shitsusetsu. Yeah, shitsusetsu. Like any like shitsu. It's like kind of tough for me.
遊びました。
Asobimashita.
遊びました。
絵は描きません。
I was in the middle of writing it out in Romaji, and I wrote su instead of you in su. Oh, yeah. Early days.
絵は描きません。
Newa. What? Oh, ewa. No. What?
絵は描きません。
Oh,
絵
ewa.
は
Ewa kakimasen. Oh, that is kind of mean. Oh, that's kind of mean.
描き
Sorry.
ません。
Kakimasen. Ewa wa kakimasen.
散歩。
Sampo
散歩。
kakimasen. Kakimasen.
描きません。
絵を描きます。
絵を描きます。描きます。Which 描きますとどんな描きます。
描きます。
What if they had both of them? Literally is Sumon? Oh, no. Well, Sumon. I think my brain trying to write it in just straight hiragana. Sumon. There is a she in it though. You can hear it. Do you watch a film or series and what's my favorite show? For you is Lost. Ooh, that's a throwback. When it comes to those answering those questions, I think the shortest answer unknown that I can give you is I tend to like and answer favorite shows based on recency. So it's the most recent film or series that left an impression on me because it's the closest thing I have emotionally, right? So if I look on my Discord, I can answer that question very quickly. The film would be Deadpool and Wolverine, and the series would be season 4 of The Boys. Hope that helps. Generally speaking, everything that's in the past are part of my experience now. So generally, we just go to the most recent. I consume a lot of media, so I like to bring all that like feelings to the current thing, enjoying. So the last film I watched that left a great impression that I can talk about quite a bit, it's probably Deadpool and Wolverine. And then by coincidence, the series that I last watched was the recent season 4 of The Boys. There are different genre of stuff. I really like the film Perks. The Perks of Being a Wallflower from don't remember the year, but the Perks of Being a Wallflower is to give you a different spin. And then for like a series, for example, like anime, if you're interested in anime, Kusuriya no Hitorigoto is probably, or Apothecary's Diary is the English version. To give an example. I do not watch a lot of movies. Oh, is that why you're asking? That might be a coincidence.
映画
映画は見ません。
見ません。
Oh, a lot of movies. あまり。
あまり
Sure.
あまり
映画はあまり見ません。遊びました。
遊びました。
散歩します。
散歩します。 散歩します。
遊びません。
あー、OK。
散歩見ました。書きます。
散歩、散歩しませんでした。or 散歩しません。Never mind. Okay, not past tense.
散歩しません。
読みません。書きます。散歩遊び
ません。Okay. I play a lot yesterday using asobu. 昨日たくさん昨日はたくさん遊びました。Probably.
昨日は遊びました。
Oh, たく
たく
さん。
さん
Yeah, sure. I do not go on walks often. Yoku or no. Oh, they wanna. Oh, they're gonna use boku. Okay. Boku wa. Boku wa amari sanpo shimasen. Sure.
僕は
僕はあまり散歩
し
しません。Oh, wait.
はあまり僕
ね What? What about BoJack? BoJack the Horseman? I watch a little bit of BoJack. I haven't seen all of it. It is a great series though for that type of like humor stuff. I think the closest thing that I can say that is close to BoJack that I watch, it's really not the same, but maybe something like oh, I forgot what the show is called. It's like demons. It's an office. Oh no, I totally forgot the name. What animal? Wild? Something. It's kind of like really kind of comedy. I think I'm more of a I guess I'm more of a like a Bob's Burgers kind of thing. And maybe like at the most extreme, like Futurama. That's probably the closest I can say that's relatable to BoJack the Horseman. I don't know about this. Boku wa sen sanpo shimasen. I wanted to put amari, but that doesn't make sense. Well,
あまり
that kind of makes sense.
あまり
I hate you. Oh my gosh, they went with sanpo wa amari shimasen. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay, sure. Okay, sure.
散は
Sure.
あまりし
Fair enough. Fair enough. That makes sense. Sure. They made the walk the topic. Okay.
今日はたくさん泳ぎました。
今日はたくさん今日はたくさん What do you do? 歌いました。
今日はたくさん泳ぎました。
Oh, 泳ぎました。
歌
Okay.
泳ぎ
ました。Sure.
今日はたくさん泳ぎました。
泳ぎます。
Okay. 泳ぎます。
泳ぎます。
音楽はあまり聞きません。
Why don't I buy the premium version? Because I don't have to. That's about it. It doesn't really make a big difference.
音楽はあまり聞きません。
For my purposes at the moment. 音楽は聞きません。
聞きます。あまり音楽はあまり聞きません。
音楽はあまり聞きません。
泳ぎません。
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 泳ぎました。
泳ぎました。聞きました。
行きました。
聞きました。
行きました。
聞きました。
うん。
音楽。
行きます。
聞きます。
毎日泳ぎます。What the heck?
毎日
Why?
泳ぎます。
Why would you do that? Why? 音楽泳ぎました。
聞きました。書きました。
音楽は聴きますか？
音楽は聞きました。あ、聞きますか？音楽は聞きますか？Do I play Black Myth Wukong? I do not at the moment. Maybe in the future. Have you played Black Myth Wukong? Unknown? I have not. I'm waiting to watch people play Black Myth Wukong though. Black Myth Wukong. Right. 音楽は書きますか？ Yeah. It's a God of War like, I guess, is the more accurate description, as opposed to a Souls game. Let's see. 音楽は書きますか? Do you listen?
書きました。音楽。泳ぎます。聞きました。泳ぎました。
左、右、
音楽、
歌、
布団。
Unless no. Sorry.
今
日はたくさん泳ぎました。
泳ぎました。
Okay. Did you hear the news? Wait. No, that's fine.
ニュース。
ニュースを聞きましたか？
機器。
Delivery service. Sorry. 聞き
ましたか？その
ニュースを聞きましたか？ Or Kono. Or oh no, Kono. I'll go with Sono. Oh my gosh, I got my third bot of the day. The other time, the two bots came in right one after the three bate. It's a three bate. In Japanese, when you're writing a paragraph, it's like subject plus verb or different. Generally it's SOV, subject object verb. Yeah. Subject object verb.
彼女は毎日走ります。
Kiki delivery service. Yeah. Did you hear it? I heard it. I clearly heard it. Like, I mean, they said Kiki's delivery service. That's exactly what they said. I'm just saying.
彼女は毎日走ります。
彼女は毎日走ります。
毎日走ります。
彼女は毎日走ります。
写真
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 2枚
2枚走りました
走りました
走りました
撮ります撮ります
撮ります
撮ります
走ります
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 Sorry, I'm making like I mentioned a podcaster that or like a vlogger, a Japanese vlogger that I really like, and he has this like inside joke about the Japanese people becoming snakes, and every time I thinking like mas, I hold out the mas just because it reminds me of the joke. Like hashirimasu. Arigatou gozaimasu. Sorry. 取りません。取りません。
撮りました。
あ、
撮りません。
取りません。
撮ります。
取ります。
撮ります。写真。
写真。
彼女はあまり走りません。
彼女はあまり走りません。Right? 彼女、wait, where's 彼女？
彼女は
は
あまり
走りません。
走ります。彼女はあまり走りません。
彼女はあまり走りません。What level do I think I am? B2 or C1 or other? You mean in Japanese? A2. A2. If I get lucky, maybe I can pass off as a B1. But no, nowhere near B2 or C1. If we're talking about Japanese. A2. A2. I'd be comfortable in saying I'm around A2. He always takes pictures.
彼
彼はいつも写真を撮ります。
写真
いつも
写真を
撮ります。
撮ります。
Bye for now, Maku. See you tomorrow. Looking forward to your chill. Take care. Take care. Good luck, good luck. Zip. Wait, did you just change your name recently? Oh, alright. I like your middle thing, Sip. Seep? Maybe it might be Seep. Actually, Seep. Good luck, good luck. I look forward to hearing your stuff. Like, share some stories. I look forward to hearing some stories. Good luck, good luck. I'll be so happy to be fluent enough for B level.
写真。
写真。
走りません。2枚。泳ぎました。撮りました。
Listen, I was gonna make a joke about Duolingo. I was gonna say I'm D3, as in Duolingo level 3. That's the kind of joke that I was thinking about in my head. I'm trying to grasp A as it goes by. Like in my head, I was thinking, boy, I could really make a funny joke right now and just say like I'm D3. It's like, then someone asks like, what the heck is D3? I'm like, Duolingo level 3. Like, oh, what is that equivalent of? A2.
彼女
彼女
は
I'm afraid I think it will start again. I'm sorry to hear. Oh wait, are you talking about? Nah, you'll be fine. 彼女はあまり That's not run along. 彼女はあまり走りません。
走りま、
Okay.
取りました。
Oh, I screwed up. 撮りました。
写真1枚2枚走り
ません。
朝ごはんはいつもパンを1枚食べます。朝ごはん
は1枚の朝ごはんを1枚いつも朝ごはん
いつも朝ごはんはいつもパンを1枚食べます。
朝ごはんをいつもパン1枚食べます。朝ごはんはいつもパンを1枚食べます。 Just kidding.
朝ごはんはいつもパンを1枚食べます。
朝ごはんは that makes a lot more sense. I thought I heard in the beginning. I'm like, how does that make sense? 朝ごはんはいつもパンを1枚食べます。時々写真を撮ります。時々写真を撮ります。I will take 100 pictures. 写真を100枚撮ります。Oh, I got one more lesson. I'm so far behind. Oh no, my Chinese lesson is gonna be rough today. It's gonna be rough. Okay. 散歩はあまりしません。
朝ごはんはいつもパンを1枚食べます。
Okay. A single eat one slice of bread. You know? Always eat one slice of bread for breakfast. One.
映画を見に行きます。映画
を
見に行きます。映画を見に行きます。
写真を200枚撮りました。
Oh, the last unit is all English translations. What the heck? Or like it just swapped over to doing the opposite. I actually didn't notice that. 写真を200枚撮りました。
どんな映画が好きですか？どんな映画が好きですか？
散歩はあまりしません。
散歩はあまりしません。
時々写真を撮ります。
時々、
お、
時々写真
写真
を
撮り
ま
ます。
音楽はあまり聞きません。
音楽はあまり聞きません。ああ、
写真を100枚撮ります。写真を100枚撮ります。写真を100枚撮ります。
手紙を書きました。or 書きます。Oh, 手紙、wait. 手紙を書いています。
手紙
を
書いて
います。
ます。
Okay.
毎日
毎日音楽を書きます。or 聞きます。Kiki's Delivery Service。
音楽
毎日音楽を Here it is。
機器
Delivery Service。
ます。
Oh, 私は Sure。
は
They wanted a subject. I think they would accept without 私は。私は I don't think they. If you omitted it, it'd still be acceptable. Hey. I will read a lot. Okay.
本
をたくさ
た
ん読みます。
読みます。
Okay. Do I do 15 minutes of okay, let's touch the last three, right? That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
I just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't unhear it. Alright, let's see if I can get to the last three. We'll just touch it.
Ongaku.
I'm so behind.
音楽
Okay, we got on.
音楽
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 It was very hard to remember 音乐 It was very hard to remember 音乐 and because 音 is
音楽
very nondescript,
音楽
but I've gotten so used to it now.
音楽
It's kind of weird.
音楽
And this is being reinforced now. Means the same thing. Oh wait.
散
We already had 音楽 散歩
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 I'll show you a sample.
散歩
散歩
散歩散歩
Alright, think we can get it? No, 写真
写真
Oh no. Yeah. Okay.
写真
That confirms 写真 to me.
写真
Sheen anyways.
写真
写真
写真、
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 写真
Oh, why? Ooh,
写真
that shashin. Ugh.
写真、
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 That shashin sounded really weird. Sanmai.
二枚
10枚、
Yumai.
1枚、
Right?
何枚、
何枚
2枚、
10枚、
10枚、
1枚枚10枚
I'm starting to think of the Finding Nemo,
100
the
枚、
seagulls. My.
10枚
Sorry if I'm ruining these things.
散歩、
Sample. My.
散歩
散歩、
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 散歩散歩
Get more with soup.
Get more with soup. Nailed it.
音楽、
Ongaku.
音楽、
音楽音楽
音楽、
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 音楽
Eh. Oh.
え、
Oh.
え、
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 Oh, that was a little cursed.
え
Go. Oops.
え、
Okay. Can I get the last one, please? Sashin?
が、
写真、
There we go. Oh. Oh,
Shashin.
wow. The print is... Oh, that's really
Shashin.
different. What the heck?
写真、
That is very different from the print.
写真、
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 I kind of like the way it looks, though. Whoops.
写真、
写真、
Yeah, that looks really
写
different.
真写真
写真、
All right, we touched all of them. Good to go. We'll save the rest for tomorrow's review. I don't think we have to review any of the vocabulary. I think I've got it down. Did I miss any today? I don't think I did. I think the weakest one is probably e. It's probably e. E is the weakest. We also have a new one, right? That isn't being populated here. That I missed. I guess I was too focused on things. Which is narau. Narau. Or yeah, narau. Which is to learn or take lessons in. Narau. Which we'll add to our recall tomorrow. Other than that, good to go. Keep in mind of it can fall by the wayside. Everything else is good. All right. That's a wrap for Japanese today. Right? Japanese. Take home message, be creative, cycle out things. Really, really look forward to your hobbies, folks. I know there are definitely rooms for things that you might not like about the hobby because it's necessary and stuff. Like, hobbies cost money. Spending money isn't that. It's very rare that some people find spending money interesting or very exciting. I actually kind of get excited when I spend money. Like, it's like, oh yeah, now what should I buy? And then you have like the whole potential buyer's remorse and stuff. But in the end, even the purchasing experience can be very positive. Like, boy howdy, right? Boy howdy, I have $100 to spend on my hobby this month. I'm looking forward to that kind of thing, right? It can be an event, extravagant, or like what I mean is like it can be emotionally extravagant, as opposed to sometimes spending $10 is fantastic. Like, I get excited when I buy new underwear. Just saying, I know that sounded like way out of left field, but man, when you're shopping for things, it's kind of fun to explore. It doesn't have to be like one of envy or coveting. Be creative, cycle things. If you're feeling demotivated and having trouble being consistent, sometimes the answer or like the inspiration and the source of motivation lie elsewhere. Temporarily. It can be permanent. One day when you turn old, maybe older than me, you'll be well equipped, right, with all the things. Sometimes sitting and staring at paint drying can, with the proper equipment and creativity and state of mind. So go out there, be creative. Obviously, it's not about discarding things. No, reinventing things when it comes to the hobby thing. All right? Thank you. If you're going to watch this later, arigatou gozaimasu. Until next time for Japanese learning, mata ne, ja ne. I'm going to get up, walk around very quickly, get ready for like the midnight oil version of the Chinese session. So I'll be right back. Thank you.